Hey guys, welcome back to Mediocre Arts and Crafts and another beginner-friendly Friday. Today we're going to make this little booklet. It can act as a junk journal, a notebook, a diary, a photo album, a brag book. It has a couple pages with pockets, and then it has a couple pages where you can put photos or ephemera. Here, I would consider putting like a focal image or a maybe a pocket down here, but I didn't do that. The base of this book, so the white cardstock part, takes two 8.5 by 11 sheets of cardstock. You can use whatever cardstock. You could even use construction paper, something just a little heavier than printer paper. And so 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11, and it only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to put together if you are following along. I do use white cardstock for the base of this album, but you can use any cardstock that you have on hand. You can use a single-sided or double-sided cardstock, and you just won't have to spend as much time matting cardstock on top of it if you want something designer. Also, you can use it just as is. You don't have to decorate it, and it'll be a great starting point for your painty papers, for collage, for any type of scrapbook paper or ephemera. So let's get into it. Okay, the base of the book that we're making today is 2 8.5 by 11 sheets of cardstock. Use whatever you've got. You can make this out of scrapbook paper, double-sided or single-sided, but if you use something that is directional, then you'll have to watch that direction as you go through and score your pages. Otherwise, you can use larger paper, obviously, and just cut it down to the same dimensions. So we have 2 pages of 8.5 by 11, and I am going to cut them down to 8.5 by 5 1/4. So they're already 8.5. So I've got one, I just doubled them up here. So 5 1/4. Two more 5 1/4. So now we have our 4 sheets that are at 8.5 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to grab my scoreboard. So 2 of these sheets are going to be scored the same way. You're going to put it in so that the 8.5 is at the top of your scoreboard, and we're going to score at 5 1/4 and 5 1/2. Two score lines on this one, 5 1/4 and 5 1/2. And then the next one is done the same way. Five 1/4, 5 1/2. Then we have one that's going to have 3 score marks, and that is at 5 1/4, 5 3/4, and 8 1/4. And then this one will just have 2 marks at 5 1/4 and 5 3/4. So now we're going to take these last 2 that we just scored, and we're going to fold at those 2 marks that we made that are at 5 1/4 and 5 3/4. And this score mark that we made at 8 1/4, we are not going to fold. You don't need to fold that one because we're just going to use that as a guide. So we're going to take our pages, we're going to open them up. We're going to put these 2 short pieces together, and we are going to glue one piece on top of the other piece up to, so overlapping up to that score mark. So you're going to have about a 1/4 of an inch area where where the 2 pages meet, and we're going to glue them together. So now it's coming together. We have a page on the right side, front cover on the left side, and this is the back. That's where we'll have that glued seam. Next, we're going to take the other pages that we scored, and we are going to burnish at those score lines, fold and burnish. Now we have our 2 pieces that have a short side, about a 1/4 inch gusset, and then a long side. For this first piece, we're going to match up the score that's on top here, and we are going to lay it into the score mark that's on the left side here. So you have the left side, if you can see that, yeah, the left side, and then the right side. So we're going to take this top score mark, and we're going to lean it right into that left fold, and those 2 folds are basically going to meet, and one is going to be inside the other. Now I'm going to add glue. So basically you're going to have this 1/4 inch gusset inside the 1/2 inch gusset. Lean it in here so that the top, again, the top of this one leans into the left side fold. I'm just folding it at that point, folding it up on the table to make it a little easier for me to find it and have those two meet. I'm gonna push it down here so all that glue adheres. And so you can see that we do have another 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch here, which of course equals 1/2 inch. So with this guy, you have a couple of options, and if you get adventurous, then you can add some more pages attached to here. But for this easy beginner project that I'm doing today, we are just going to make a pocket. So I'm going to glue at the top and whoop, and glue at the bottom. And that gives us a little pocket here and a page. We're going to do the same thing that we did with this one, except now we're looking at it this way, and this top fold is going to lean right into the right hand side rather than the left hand side. So you have your 1/2 inch score marks, and the one on the right hand side is going to meet this one on the top here. So I'm going to add some glue. Lift this up again to make it easy for me to make those two folds meet. Same thing. Going to glue at the top and glue at the bottom. And now we have another pocket. So close it this way. If you want to layer some scrapbook paper or painty papers or whatever you've got, and you want that little border around it, you can just use some 5x5 squares.